Okay, we're back with a quick, hopefully 5-minute review of the Fujifilm 23mm f2 prime lens. So this lens is part of Fujifilm's what's been dubbed the Fujicron series, the little f2, and I would even consider the 16mm f2.8 lenses that were designed to be put on these small bodies that are compact, light, fast to focus, weather sealed, and just all around pretty great lenses. But getting into this one specifically, starting with the build quality of this 23mm. I mean, it's pretty similar throughout the Fujicron lineup. Metal construction, got a decent little heft to it for the size. Definitely compared to the 18mm, doesn't feel as cheap in the hands. I would say that this is really good build quality for the price you pay and what you're getting in this package. Performance wise, all the Fujicrons have pretty silent focusing motors, so the autofocus is really quick on these. They're good for video if you want to use them for that application. And from image quality standpoint, this 23mm to me is not really my favorite. The reason I ended up getting this is because I've had a few X100 bodies in the past, and usually love that combination as an entire package with the lens, the f2 aperture, and the size. And so when I moved off of the last X100 body I had onto the X Pro 3, I kind of wanted to try to replicate that experience. So I ended up picking up this f2 23mm. And honestly, for me, it hasn't been the same shooting experience. It's a good lens. I'm not saying it's bad. However, what I will say is that, I think it's been said about this lens in other reviews that particularly at close to minimum focusing distance, it can get pretty soft. It's not that sharp, which to me isn't super important, but what is important is that it can get a little hazy. At least the copy I own right here can get a little hazy, which is funny because it's actually similar to what some of the older X100 bodies used to do. But I thought they would be able to get away from it given the size of this one compared to those, basically pancake lenses on the X100 series. Now, don't let that be a deal breaker for you. I think you can get great images with this, and I think this lens gets a bad rep that it doesn't necessarily deserve. For what you get here, which is a light, compact, fast prime, I think it's more than adequate, and it's a really great lens. I've never used a 23mm 1.4, so I can't really compare it to that from an image quality standpoint, but I think this is definitely good enough, particularly if 35mm isn't like your go-to focal length, which for me, it kind of isn't. I tend to skew more towards the 28mm field of view. So the 35mm field of view in this 23mm lens, it's not completely necessary to me, but I always kept this around because it was light, compact, and weather sealed. So that if I did need to shoot in the snow or it was raining, I could take this out, put it on my X Pro 3, and I wouldn't have to worry about anything. So that kind of covers the performance. I kind of already touched on the cons of the image quality. It's really the only con. From a build quality perspective, this lens is great. The aperturing is nice and clicky. It's stiff enough. I can't really comment on the manual focusing ring because I really don't manually focus these Fuji lenses. They're not really good for that, in my opinion. Now, it does in the box come with this little lens hood here, which I'll show. It's nice and compact, and I think it does a really good job of protecting the lens. Like, I really love lens hoods that are this small because you can throw them on the lens and throw this in the bag, on your camera body, and not worry about the lens getting messed up when it's in your bag. So I really do like this lens, although it can kind of look a little weird, in my opinion. But the good thing is, Square Hood, if you've never experienced this company, which they make really pricey products, however they're really good. They make a lens hood for this that I think looks pretty cool as well, to be honest with you, and stays reasonably compact. Maybe it's a touch bigger than the stock lens hood that comes with it, but it's still pretty good. Other than that, I mean, you could always pick up other styles of lens hoods on eBay if you want to, and get a different look from that as well. This one obviously is a little bit bigger, and I think this actually came with one of my lens that I shoot on my Leica body, but it fits this filter size, so that's also an option as well if you're into that. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this quick little, hopefully 5-minute review. And I'll catch you in the next one, hopefully. Peace.